Hey everyone, thanks for dropping in again so soon. About 2 hours ago, I did a quick unboxing of Roger Waters' redo of Dark Side of the Moon. Cleaned it, like I said, rinsed it off with distilled water. I'm using my VPI vacuum. It's a standard, will never dies type of device. One of the best things I ever bought. But anyway, just a shout out to the guys at VPI. They do a great job. I know Matt and the family, very a great family. But anyway, just did the review of this redo, and there I learned from listening to this that must be Roger's pooch, Roger's dog. Here's the gatefold, and here it's not just lyrics to the original Dark Side of the Moon, but the new lyrics, the new soliloquies that Roger speaks out, more speaking than singing. But I'm going to comment about this record. Here's my took the outer shrink off and placed it on the inner sleeve. But one thing I like to point out, I was wrong about the record when I did the unboxing. It's actually a double album. It's not 3 sides. It's a full double album. And it's funny, when the third disc is completed, it's the end of Dark Side of the Moon as we remember it. And also shout out to Nectar, who, by Roger and David Gilmour's own words, were so much influenced by Nectar. So if you haven't checked the Nectar LPs out, Remember the Future was one of the records that charted, went gold. But I just want to give them a shout out. I actually know the keyboardist, founder, Alan Taft Freeman. I know his wife, Angel. So just want to say a few words about this. So it's a full double. When I looked at it during the review, it's translucent, so I thought the grooves were from the third side, because there's no, it just says Dark Side of the Moon, side 4. Doesn't have any, notations of what it's about. But we'll talk about side 4. Side 4 is very interesting. But let me tell you, I thought this was brilliant, and I love it. It's one of those records where you have to get into it a few times. I only listen to it once, but it's very poignant. And it's just in time for Halloween because it's scary. Roger's vocals are huge, almost like the wizard in the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain. He's just omnipresent. It's a full 10-foot soundstage, or whatever system you might have. It's the full soundstage. So that was right off the bat scary. His voice sounds scary now. As far as the pressing goes, sonically superior. It had the same qualities as a UHQR or a Rhino or one of those audiophile pressings. Reasonably priced. It's in half the price of even of a regular MoFi. It's $35, $40. It did have some noise. I cleaned it twice. It did have like little like specks in the air on the beginning because it's comes in soft. But once the music comes on, it dissipates. It's not completely pressing. In between the grooves. Once the songs and the tunes and the rapping is done, is going, there is no problem. So sonically superior. I give it a 10 for sonics. Noise-wise, as far as the inner grooves, like an 8. Roger actually talks about his age here. He talks about 80. He confronts his mortality. He talks about good friends passing away. So we've all had that happen. And unfortunately, it's happening more and more now. So this will hit home. I think this record will hit home with the older folks that have lived through a lot. As far as the relationship to Dark Side of the Moon as we know it from 73 for the last 50 years, it's almost as if Roger Roger has sampled himself or sampled Dark Side of the Moon to use for this new project. It's like a sampling. It's not even a complete Dark Side of the Moon. A lot of folks won't like it. A lot of folks, will think, well, why did he even bother? But it's his tune. If Frank Sinatra wanted to redo his catalog from Capitol when he went to Reprise and add nuances or change, his connotations and his articulation. That's his privilege, and Roger has done that here. It's like, again, he sampled Dark Side of the Moon, and he's rapping on it. He's talking on it. He's going omnipresent all over it. Sonic wise and quality record wise, quality sound wise, I love it. It's brilliant. The musicians on here are top notch. The bass is prominent, of course. It's Roger. We hear a different type of organ instead of what was on the original. We hear a different type of organ on some things, but the bass is right there. Roger's right there. It's almost like a Dark Side unplugged, if I may. But once again, just amazing. It has a quality to it, like a fine wine where it's aged, and now we're getting to taste it, type of thing. I'm just trying to look at some of my notes. Let me see here. Yeah, that's about what I jotted down. Because I could talk about it without having anything written. Like I said, the pressing is excellent. It's 4 records. It's not 3. So I got to the end of Eclipse, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Oh, one thing I like to add. Well, a few things, but thanks everyone for subscribing and dropping in. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. We really appreciate it. It really helps us out. And I appreciate all the comments. I read them all. I try to respond to all of them, as you know. Number 2, I haven't, and this is the truth, I haven't listened to any other YouTube review. I haven't read a review. I've seen the headlines. I've seen the, scanning YouTube. I've seen some of the, thumbnails that come through a review, good or bad, thumbs up or down. Didn't look at them. I didn't want to be influenced. And I know they would influence me. And I would probably, maybe I'd do a better review. I would pick up on someone else's comments and I would, chart that in my head and delve into that. But I didn't want to do that. So after I post this later on tonight, like I said, this whole weekend, this whole last 4 days was super busy. But when I get a chance, I'm going to go back and read all my colleagues' reviews. I love hearing what they say, the ones that I'm subscribed to, and subscribing is important. It helps us out with the algorithm for YouTube, the way they set some up, and it gives you a sense that what you're doing is appreciated. Because I think everyone that does this, I like doing it. I'm sure they like doing it. So what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, number 3, which is very important. So I'm at the end of the first album, which is side 1 and side 2. And I asked Lady Di, my wife, what'd you think? She goes, I think I'm going to kill myself. So she did not like it. So a lot of people may not like it. She's not internalizing it the way I did. I looked at it as an 80-year-old man revisiting his youth with some path changes. Instead of left, he went right. He went straight, the crossroads. So I look at it that way. But that's just a funny comment, so I want to throw that in. I don't know if a lot of people like this. I'm sure it's going to sell out because it's Rogers. We've been waiting for this. Really, I give the packaging a 10. Right here, it reminds me of Amused to Death, similar. And here's the inside. You can see the original P. Here we have the shrink right there. But I want to talk a little bit about side 4. Side 4 was a pleasant surprise in a way, because I didn't think there was a side 4. I thought there was only 3 sides. If you see this, side 3 ends with eclipse, and side 4 just says, nothing, side 4. So, and here again, I just wanted to relay this to you. I finished with eclipse, got to the turntable, said, "Oh, cool," because also the sound effects in this album is different. It's rearranged. The sound effects, it's a whole different arrangement. If you're looking for, him re-singing the tunes from Dark Side of the Moon, it's not for you. If you want that, it's not for you, because he is doing it rearranged, reorganized, regurgitated, and articulated. So he's really doing it all, just a whole new, like I said, he took the music and he sampled it. It's like a jazz musician it's like Monk or Coltrane or Miles. They take the tune, but they go places you don't expect, and that's why I like it. I didn't expect any of this. I did not expect it, because Money was one of the first singles that was released, or samples that was released, and that's pretty straight Money from the original. But the other things are readings and raps. So he's rapping and he's sampling his work as a rap artist. It's cool. So anyway, back to side 4. So, and I'll just hold the album up while I do this. But while I was listening to side 3, and I was just about to take it off the turntable and get set up for this review. And I said, let me flip this over. Maybe it's like, one of those like Marvel films where there's something beyond the credits, where after the credits are pulled, a clip comes on. And I thought, I just had that notion. And when I put it on, I started to hear people chatting. And what it is, it's I don't know, 15 minutes or whatever of sound effects of Roger talking to someone. Roger's dog is on the tape. That's why I thought this must be Roger's dog, because Roger's dog touches the mic a few times, and Roger comments on that. It reminded me a little bit of number 9, of Yoko and John's contribution on the White LP, the Beatles. It's like John and Yoko on steroids, or any of those recordings that they did on the Wedding album, or any of their albums that they did solo. John had taken Yoko, they just talk into a microphone, into a recorder. So it's similar to that. It's like a number 9 dream. So I really like that. I was really glad I put it on. I don't know what it has to do with the Dark Side of the Moon. I have to listen to it more closely. But I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope it would make you go buy it or listen to it. I would listen to it if you kind of, some of the things I told you didn't hit home with you. So I would actually advise you to listen to it on YouTube. I think I've already seen that it's up on YouTube, so you could stream it. But sonic-wise, on a good system, it's unsurpassed. It's just amazing. And he did it the right way. He didn't scrimp. Roger's company, Roger Waters, he didn't scrimp, put it on 2 records, spread it out, albeit the 4th record is just a self-indulgent, soliloquy. It's him talking into the mic. It's, really cool. I'm going to write to Roger. I really love this. I'm going to post this on Roger's Facebook site as well. So just a cool recording. Really dug it. Want to listen to it again. Want to read the poem and the lyrics that are on the inner sleeve. We don't get a poster. but we get really nice inner sleeves. And as you can see, they're not poly lined, so I've already, put them in these plastic sleeves. So thanks again. Like I said, this is for me, it's brilliant. It's a hit. It's not. I don't think it's for everyone. This is just my opinion. So I hope this encourages you to at least try to listen to it. If you're not a Pink Floyd fan, if you're a Pink Floyd fan, you already have this. If you're a casual fan of other musics, but you know the Pink Floyd, you know Dark Side of the Moon, like everyone does, give it a shot, give it a listen, and it should be in everyone's collection, I believe. So that's how I feel. And there's the Pooch. Don't know his name. And here's the hype sticker. So stay well. I appreciate all the subscriptions and likes. If you like what you've seen here, you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, because I'm going to be doing whatever new record I get. I do that. I also do a new segment called What I Did Last Night. So if I listen to music the night before, I usually would listen to 4 or 5 LPs. I'm going to document those LPs, show them to you, suggest them to you if I think they're very strong. And I think everything is good. So you may not agree with me, but I like music. So, but that's it. Here's the hype again. This is the inner sleeve. So keep rocking, and thanks a lot for dropping in. LPs R Us signing out. Thank you.